And what happens is I just scratch everything out. I'm not going to sign that. I've got a signed agreement. Oh, if they don't go to closing with the signed agreement, what are they doing? They're in what?
Breach.
Breach. What does it cost me to sue them? Oh, Jake, are you an attorney now?
I fill out at $250 an hour.
Are we business partners? Do you bill me?
In this kind of a situation, very typical for the attorney to ask for $5,000 or $6,000, and that'll go.
So most people in the audience aren't just going to say, "Oh, I'm sorry," and you walk away. I don't. I'm a honey badger. Remember? Oh, you're going to breach contract? Let's go to court. Because I'm going to tie up that house for how many months? That they cannot sell it. Can they sell it if we have an open contract?
No.
They can't do anything. Okay. Good luck with that. I'm a honey badger. I don't care. Right? Oh, and also what it does, so it extends your time. You can get 5, 6, 7, 8 days, right? That you don't have to come up with the earnest money. Is that cool? So let's say you don't have the money, but you know people who do. We had those people raise their hands, remember? Just about 15 minutes ago. I find the deal, I find the person who has the money. And I say, hey, I've got this $200,000 house. I'm picking it up for $100,000. It needs $24,000 in repairs. I would like to get $10,000 as a finder's fee. And I would never say finder's fee, but I would say, I would like to get $110,000 for it. Would you like it? No. Next, next, next. Somebody's going to say yes. Okay? It's not hard. You guys, you even raised your hand and said you could find somebody in an hour, 20 minutes, right? That's how you make money. So if I do that, I make 10 grand. If I do 20 of these a month, I make 20 grand a month. No, I make 200 grand a month. Okay, been there, done that. My peak, I was doing 35 houses a month, wholesale. And I don't even know what the property address was. I didn't even know if they existed or not. No, they did. I mean, they were legal, legitimate deals, but I never looked at them. I had staff. Isn't that cool? Can you do that? You just got to put offers in. And they got to have the right verbiage. And it's got to be done correctly. Still wrong number? Still wrong number? Yeah.
It's been repeated on a number of
I know, because you know why? I copy and pasted it.
There you go.
So if you want today's presentation, it is a video of the same presentation of me going through this. So if you didn't really get this, and it's kind of sitting with you, and you really didn't understand the breadth of the breadth of this, of how it works, it's very powerful. The key is, if you want to put a house together today, you got to put offers in. How many people put an offer in this week? Okay. How many put more? Come on, guys. How many put more than 10 offers? 100. 500. 1,000. How do you do 1,000 offers a week?
Wow.
You get 1,000 realtors to put in one offer a day. How do you do that? Get on the phone, start calling realtors. Duh. What if they say they're not going to do it for you? Oh, that's not going to work, because they're all going to say that. Most of them. Okay? Okay, where's my agents in here? All right, would you guys put an offer like this in for me? Would you put 100 of them in this month to see if it works or not? It's going to take you, would you put 50?
Not me personally, I'd have my assistant do it.
Bingo! Good.
That's too many offers.
Yeah. Here's the cool thing, and I'm going to just give you a little bit of secret. The MLS system allows you to make a template of my offer, and it also allows you to import the MLS search that you just did right into that template, and you can pop them out in about 8 minutes. All you got to do is change what?
Address.
No, that comes in, it's imported.
Comes in, okay.
Yeah, it's all imported. The only thing you have to do is change the map. That's it. I've got an agent in up near Napa that can do them in about 5 minutes. She started out at an hour and a half. She says, oh, it takes an hour and a half to put an offer in. To write up all the forms and stuff. You don't need all the forms now. You're going to add that later because they're going to say, oh, well, we accept your offer, but you need this form and this form and this form, right? Because you don't, so do they ever do that? When you send in a completed offer and you followed all the rules, they're always going to add something stupid to it. Oh, you didn't put this thing in there and it has chloroform in it. How are we supposed to know? Well, it was in the remarks section, right? So you put in multiple offers. You guys get that?
Yeah.
Yeah, pretty cool. All right. Did you know that 44% of people give up after one offer? I've been doing the seminar business now since 1997. I don't really want to do the math anymore. A long time ago, we did this way. No, in 1997, I started in the seminar business, and the thing that I was really excited about was when somebody did something, right? It was like going to the casino, and you're like, oh, look at all these winners on the wall. I'm going to be just like them, right? You know what I mean? Guess awake? When you walk into the casino, it has pictures of everybody that won the jackpots.
Right.
You can be just like that. See, that's how they build those big, beautiful casinos off of winners like us. Right? Well, that's kind of like the seminar business. They show you all the people that were successful. But I will tell you that 95% of the people in the seminar that pay the $40,000, 95% of them do nothing. Why? Well, they're putting offers in like I showed you before. Right? So they hit a wall and they walk into the real estate agent's office, and they said, my mentor said that you're going to have to put this offer in just like this. And they say, pound sand. I'm not putting the offer in for you. Well, you must. And it reminds me of that you must pay the rent. You know. No, they're not going to. So what happens is they say, oh yeah, you went to one of those seminars, that stuff doesn't work. And they throw them out of the office, and that person goes home completely defeated, deflated. Oh my God, I spent $40,000. They said I could do all this stuff, and this agent says I can't. In fact, they threw me out of the office, and their broker and her laughed at me as they were throwing me out. And they quit. Okay? Which is good for us. Why is it good for us? Well, that's competition, right? It's hard to beat a person that never gives up. When I was from 8 to 16, I took Wing Chun Kung Fu. Do you know what that is? I know enough now to get hurt because I'm old now and it hurts. But it's like the stuff you see on the Kung Fu movies, you know, grappling where they're going, what that, like all that stuff. All right, and I did it for 8 years. And I used to fight other people. That was what we did for fun because, you know, you didn't have pain when you were 16 years old. And there was one guy that I used to fight, and I used to hate fighting him because he always did this. He was, no matter where you went, I'm like, dude, you know, stop. He never stopped coming at me. What does that mean? It's hard to beat that guy because he never gives up. And then you smack him and hit him in the face a couple times, and he keeps coming. And it's psychological, man. That's how he did it. Because he really sucked. He just kept coming at you. And I'm like, lay down. But you guys understand, it's hard to beat somebody that never gives up. Do you guys ever give up on stuff? All the time, right? And do you ever see that picture? I think it's on Facebook or online, and it's got the guy and he's digging, and there's another guy digging, and the one guy quits and he's walking away, and he was like 3 more pickaxes on that digging, and he would have hit the gold mine. You know, because that's I never quit. I just never quit. This is serious. You can use my honey badger method to win, okay? I've done over 1,500 deals. I dropped out of school in 9th grade. I really did. I said to the dean, I says, because I was skipping school and going to the wrong classes because I didn't want to go to the classes they were sending me to. And I'm leaning on the counter like this, and the dean's standing there, and she was a big, tall woman. And I was like, I'm 16 years old. You can't tell me I got to go to school. And I turned around to leave like that. My mom was standing right there. But that was back in the day when your mom could help you out to the car. And in fact, there was some guy standing over there, and he's like, hey, you can't do that. And he came over and started hitting me too because that's the way it was back then. A little bit of an exaggeration on it. But she did help me to the car. But I went and I took my GED, and I almost aced it. Because I had a 144 IQ. Mexico has cured that. Remember the picture? But this is serious. I know we're joking around and we're having fun. Stop playing games. Stop going home and saying, oh man, Cliff really riled me up and he really got me excited and I really want to do this and I really want to make this work, and then turn the TV on.
Yeah.
Okay? And if you don't have $10 million in your bank account right now, I shouldn't say this. I was going to say smash your TV. It probably, I know Jake just bought a big 70-inch one, but he can't, right? So, turn it off. I turned my TV off, 13 years ago? We don't watch TV in the house. But we have Hulu, and I've got that Fire thing box that I can watch movies. I just watched, like, the latest movies. That's,
So if you had the system automated and you didn't have to spend your time and you were dealing with lease to own or rent to own, would you do something like that? Or why don't you?
well, who says I don't? I don't do lease to own.
I mean for sale by owner or for rent by owner.
Oh, you can. You absolutely can.
And so you do that as well.
Well, it depends on where you are in the cycle. So if you put in offers like this, sure, no worries. If you put in offers like this and you get these smoking hot deals, you're buying at 50, 60, 70% of market value. Okay? What's your exit strategy? It's whatever you guys want to do with it. If you don't have any money, you can wholesale it to somebody else. If you have the money, you close on it and you just scored a good deal. And if you're going to buy it and hold it, or do a lease option, or sell the beneficial interest on a contract for beneficial interest over 30 years. I bought a house in Chattanooga, Tennessee, and I bought it for $24,000. It was a nice house. It needed $3,000 in repairs. It needed a new back door, a hood, and the stain on the floor. And that's just how much those houses cost. And it was, I think it was a 3-bedroom, 1 bath. And the guy, well, I was going to wholesale it because it was worth about 80. I picked it up for 24, 25, 26, 27, 28. I had like 30 in it. So I was going to sell it for 50 to an investor. And what happened was, I sold it to her for 50. She PayPal'd me the money. I owned it in a land trust, so I just assigned the beneficial interest to her. And then my real estate agent that found the house, called up and said, hey, Jose wants to buy the house. Jose was the guy that did all the work on it. Literally, his name was Jose. I'm not making this up. And he was from Nicaragua. And he didn't have any papers. So my student that bought it for 50 sold it to him for about 130 on a contract for beneficial interest, which he's the beneficiary, not the owner. The trustee stayed in place. And what happens is in 30 years, they'll give him the full 100% beneficial interest of that property. So, as a foreign national, because as an undocumented, as a, you guys know where I'm going? Okay, as an illegal person, alien, whatever you want to call them, I think of aliens, they have spaceships, and they can own property here, but they can't get financing because they want to see the tax returns from their home country, which they don't live there. So that's the problem. You get into that little mix. But if you hold the house in a land trust, you can sell the beneficiary over a amortized schedule of 360 payments, and you can make that amount anything you want.
That's a great idea. I never thought about that.
I know. Honey Badger. I don't give a shit. You set me rules, I'll break them and figure out how to make them work in my advantage.
So can you get your realtors to actually call it for sale by owner or for rent by owner, or do you have other people do that?
That might be hard unless the agent, works with you all the time and you protect them.
Gotcha.
All you got to do is protect them that they're going to get their commissions.
Okay, so for those dealers, you'd probably put that job on somebody else, a non-realtor.
Yeah, you could if you don't want to bang doors yourself.
Exactly.
I don't bang doors.
Right.
I got like accountant hands now.
Okay.
But you can always get somebody else to do it for you.
Yeah.
Seriously. But yeah, that was a sweet deal because guess how much the guy put down for down payment? 50 grand.
Wow.
Cash world, guys. Am I right? Anybody know any illegal aliens that live here? They have a cash society. They have money. They're not broke. They just play some broke people on TV, right? Like, I'm not a doctor. I just play one on TV. You got to push hard for the deal. You got to fight for it. Don't go home and turn the TV on. If the realtor tells you you can't do that, say, who the hell are you to tell me I can't do what I want to do? Don't tell me I can't. Do you have anybody else in your office that wants to put a deal together today? Because if you don't want to do it, that's okay. I can work with somebody else. Next. Don't be afraid to say that to an agent. What are they going to do? Tell you to get out of their office? How many times has that happened to me? I don't care. Doesn't matter. Oh, and I'm sure all those realtors never did the volume of property that I've done. Is that fair? Talked to somebody this morning that I had to shut down myself. I was pretty proud of myself. I was like, how many deals have you done? All right, if you fight for it, you can make a lot of money. Dude, you're making good money, aren't you?
Yes, sir.
It's killer money, killer money. I made so much money that my family thought I was doing something illegal.
Drugs.
Yeah, because I had a lot of parties. I'm literally allergic to marijuana. I cannot smoke it. It makes me really sick. In fact, we got so sick last night. No, I'm just kidding. No, I really can't. Unfortunately, like in 7th grade, I smoked it for the first time. I got so sick I had to go to the hospital. I'm allergic to it, like peanuts. Like people have peanut allergies. So, and then I tried it like 3 or 4 more times, and I ended up in the hospital every time. And the doctor says, well, you're not that smart. When are you going to learn? I says, next time. Well, because all my friends did. I'm 52, so it was really popular now. Now it's legal everywhere. Can my strategies help you achieve your real estate and financial goals faster and easier?
Yeah.
You think?
Yeah.
Possibly.
Okay, possibly. Absolutely. No possibilities. We're honey badgers now. Right? If you put your offer in this way, look, we went to Las Vegas, we put 250 offers in and got 6 properties out of that. Is that a good return?
Yeah.
Where's my realtor back there? 6 properties, $97,000 in commission, and he had 5 staff people put the offers in 1 weekend. What was his answer to put more offers in?
Yeah.
Yeah, he asked me, okay, can we do this again? I'm like, slow down, Kimosabi. We got to hit this area. So, remember I said if they don't take your offer, you call them in 10 days, then you call them in 30 days, then you call them in 60 days, then you call them in 90 days. How's that deal working out for you? Do deals fall out of escrow?
Yeah.
All day long. Do they ever call you back and say, hey, you know what, that deal you put an offer in, I think we want to go with you this time?
Yeah.
I've had 2 phone calls in 26 years. Well, remember, I'm a honey badger. I almost said another word. I'm a honey badger, so they really don't want to call me. But when I remind them I'm ready to go, and then they say, yeah, let's submit your offer, I'm like, oh, no. I have to reevaluate this now. And then I always add $5,000, $10,000 to it. I like to hear the heads pop off. It's fun. And they're like, but you offered that back then. And I'm like, yeah, you didn't take it. And then I'll do it. Because the numbers are probably still working. But it's just fun to pull their chains, right? All right. I'll go through this real quick. There's a few people that have done some really cool things. Mark and Susan, they went to one of those very expensive training courses and for a year did nothing. They took my course and they made $275,000 in their first year within 365 days. Part-time. Okay? This guy lives in Fresno. Anybody from Fresno?
Bakersfield.
Nobody from Fresno?
Bakersfield close.
That's where the train's going now. Bakersfield.
Yeah, pretty close.
We've done stuff in Bakersfield. He's done stuff in Bakersfield. He's now an agent, and I watch him on Facebook. Every month he's putting a new one on Facebook, and it says, brand new rehab house for sale. Come see it. So I know he's doing quite a few. He won't tell me, look at him. I says, how much money are you making? And he just looks at you like that. Like. And I says, are you okay? And he's like, oh yeah, I'm fine. I'm like, well, how many deals have you done? Military, they don't want to tell you anything. Johnny Parker, he made $18,000 on his first deal. He tried all the other people and got nowhere with it. And I know who the other people were, and you get nowhere with that, okay? Because I used to teach for those guys, right? I come from that background. Why didn't my stuff work back then? Because they didn't let me teach it. Because if I teach them what I teach now, they don't come back for the $30,000 mentor program. Wait, man, I just paid $42. Yeah, but that was for that. Now you need this $30,000. Well, I don't have $30,000. Well, can you do 25? So, you know, a lot of times I go to do the fulfillment, I'm sitting in your living room, and I say, well, how much did you pay for that? And they're like, well, we paid $28,000. And then I'd ask another one, oh, we paid $48,000. And I ask another one, oh, we paid $8,000. It's like, same class. Probably the same salesman. Whatever you got on your credit card balance is what you're going to pay for. Do you get that? So he did his first deal, 18,254.40. He showed me the actual check. He turned around in less than 3 months. He did another one and made $30,000. And this is in the Poconos. It's hard to do deals in the Poconos. It's a weird place. But he did. Buy, fix, and sell. Anybody know Dave Seymour? The guy, the fireman.
Yes.
That was a real estate guru, and he's all over the place. I did their back end fulfillment. Okay? And this guy, I can't show you his name, was one of the guys that helped him move out of his apartment when he lost his apartment. You know the story? He moved out, he was a fireman, he was like losing everything, and he had to move out of his apartment, and then he found real estate investing, and now he's a national success. He had a TV show, Flipping Boston.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. This guy helped him move out of the crappy apartment he was in. He was a fireman. And I said, well, why don't you have him teach? Why you got me here? He said, because they said you're the best. So Dave sent me to teach this guy's class. I never met Dave. But apparently I'm the best. So he says, first deal, this was September, so not that long ago. First deal, bought a foreclosure from the bank for $193, no repairs, and wholesaled it for $285. Thank you for your help. I like this job. Smiley face. And I'm over there going, awesome! Because I get excited more than everybody else does. You ever do that? Do that in Starbucks. And say, oh, well, your order will be ready in 5 minutes. And you go, awesome! You get your coffee really fast. Honey badger. Even a blind squirrel can find a nut once in a while, right? $92,000 profit. In Boston, there's no foreclosures there, right? And you can't do this in Boston, okay? So what does the honey badger say when they say that?
Sure you
Next. If you can't do it, I can. And I'm not going to listen to you. All right. Anybody want to become a success story like these?
Maybe,
Maybe?
possibly.
Okay. You want to know how?
Yes, of course.
Here's how. All right. Just one more time. It's still wrong. But if you haven't done that, this video is available. So go ahead and text in. I'll give you some freebie stuff too. Here's my program. And what I did was about 9 years ago on a whiteboard, I wrote down everything you needed in order to learn, in order to be a successful real estate investor. And I think I qualify to be able to write that board, okay? And I wrote down all the stuff that you need. And I started, okay, if I knew absolutely nothing about this business, where would I start? So I wrote down what cell phone type to use, what office equipment would I need. And of course that's changed over the years, but it's very updated. So I went from the very first thing to the very last thing. And in 13 weeks, there's 26 video sessions. They're an hour to an hour and a half long each. So it is a lot of content, but it's 26 years of me saying, here's what everything is that you need to do to put a deal together. So I designed it so that when you did the program, at the end of the program, you should have a deal, or if not more, put together. Because that's the way I brained it. Okay? As I wrote it on the board, okay, what do you do next? What do you do next? I go over everything. I go over everything. It's step by step. It's easy to use, easy to understand, because I wrote it like an idiot. Now that sounds kind of weird. Why would you write it like an idiot? Not that you're idiots, I'm not saying that. But I want to be able to say all of this to somebody that has no idea what real estate is and be able to understand it. Does that make sense? Okay? Kind of harsh on the idiot thing? I'm sorry. I'm not sorry. You ever hear that? I'm sorry, I'm not sorry. But I wanted to put it down so that it was simple. Because this is simple, it's just not easy. Okay? Takes work. Takes hard work. Took me all these years to get all this information into one place. But I put in the things that the gurus don't teach. And why is that? I want to sell you this, and that's about it. I don't want to sell you a $40,000 program, because then I got to get up, and I got to fly to your house, and I got to sit in your house, and I got to listen to all your questions. No, I'm just kidding. No, I did that for a long time. I don't want to do it anymore. I want to give you a complete training so that you have no questions. Isn't that cool? Would you like that? All right. I talk about the introduction to real estate investing, setting up your office, building your power team, creating the deal, calculating all the numbers. This is it right here. If you don't know what the math is right now, you will fail every time. Okay? Because if you don't know what that house is worth, and you put an offer on it, and you still don't know what it's worth, you're going to fail almost every single time. Unless you're just lucky. And lucky is a dog that has no ear. You ever see that little meme? Is missing dog, no missing right ear, no left eye. It's got a broken back leg. Answers to the name Lucky. Working with realtors, I talk to you how to get the realtors to do this. It's not easy. They're trained to avoid us. Okay? I owned a real estate office. What did I train my people? Stay away from those wild and crazy, wacky investors. In that day, it was Tom Vu. Remember Tom Vu? Anybody? Raise your hand if you remember. Just Tom V.U. Real Estate Seminar, Google, YouTube. You will laugh like crazy. He has the big boat, and he's got all the girls in bikinis around him. And he's talking about, you stupid. I go buy houses, and you just stupid. Come to my seminar. I swear to God, you'll laugh. Stay away from those people, because 9 times out of 10, you don't know if they are for real or not for real. And just go, I wanted them to close deals, go with the homeowners and do the regular real estate stuff. Because why? I made more money that way. Right? I owned a real estate office. So I'll teach you how to work with real estate agents to get them to do it. Once they figure this out, they're going to want to do it. Okay? Some of them will do it for a month and quit because it's just too much work. And then you realize that they closed 5 times the volume that they worked with you than they did the whole year before, but it's too much work. I don't get it. Did I mention that the average income is $54,000 for a real estate agent? Holding title in a land trust. Anybody who was here for Randy's talk? Wasn't he awesome?
Awesome.
Okay. When somebody said to me, Cliff, because I'll give you a real quick rundown. I used to buy it in my name. Remember those days? You just put it in your name. Well, you can't do that anymore because I wanted to assign it to somebody else. And if I can't assign it because nobody will let me change, would you let me change the name on the contract after we haven't agreed to? Not at all. So then I'd start putting it in corporation.
LLC.
Yeah, and then I'd sell you my LLC. And that's expensive because the land trust is basically free. It's time to print it out. Okay? And then I sell you my beneficial interest. So I'll tell you how to do that. Oh, and if the county or the state or whatever says, oh, we can't do land trust, just take that word out. Because they all know what trust is. It's a little more detailed than that, but I go through everything with you. Honey Badger contract negotiations. Everything that I just ran through real quickly in detail. Okay? Estimating repairs. I can tell you what it is without even seeing it. I can estimate the repairs. The lipstick on the pig. Because that's what we're going to do, lipstick on the pig. You know what lipstick on the pig is? Paint, carpet, remove and replace cabinets, countertops, bathrooms, and that kind of stuff. If it needs a roof, that's going to be something we don't know and we find out later. I tell you how to do that and work with those numbers every single time. Working with contractors. Number one theft in this business is right here. Who's my contractors? See, now they're not going to raise their hand. No, but anytime you hear of a real estate investor that's having problems, it's gonna be with the contractor. So I teach you the techniques. I've never had problems with any of my contractors. I make them rock stars, and they wanna do my deals, even though almost at half price.
Choose the right ones.
Yeah. And then, working with institutional lenders.